video recording number, truly I don't remember. Let's check, wait a minute. 23. The lie that keep you alone. That's the topic. That's the topic. मेरे को ऐसे रखना चाहिए या इसको ऐसे ही कर देना चाहिए कि मैं इसको कर ही ऐसे देता हूँ। ये कुछ तो ये कुछ ऐसे हो जाएगा बेसिकली। ठीक है, नॉट बैड, आई थिंक सो, है ना। बंद हो गया था ये, बंद हो गया था ये, तो मैं इसको ऐसे नहीं कर सकता, ये कर सकता हूँ। चल जाएगा, थोड़ा बहुत तो चल जाएगा, ज्यादा नहीं। बट हाथ इतने लगन गए बेसिकली। दिक्कत तो बहुत है यार। हेलो हेलो हेलो। आई डोंट नो दैट वी कैन रिकॉर्ड। मैं थोड़ा इधर आ सकता हूँ बेसिकली, तो फिर मैं कैमरा एंगल हाला लगा ला इधर बजाय। नहीं, ज़्यादा अच्छा नहीं। हाँ ठीक है, थोड़ा दूर है बट ठीक है। Basically, that's a way. The topic is the lie that keep you alone. Why you know but don't try. इंट्रो एक बारी वाड़ के देखते हैं, फिर देखते हैं कि अद्धे करनी है कुछ ऐड होता। You know the answer. You know you should reach out. You know isolation make it worse. You know people care, but you don't do it. And then you blame yourself. I'm weak. I'm broken. I can't even ask for help. But that's not the real problem. The real problem, you know, but you don't try. And there's a reason why a real. And there's a reason why. A real reason. Today, I'm showing you the actual blocker that stop you and how to finally break through it. I'm Saksham Sethi, learning psychology from ground up. Let's begin. You know the answer. You know to, है ना? You know the answer. You reach it out, but you don't. And you blame yourself. I'm that weak. I can't even ask for help. नहीं पता। ज ज ज एक बारी फिर तो पढ़ते हैं। You know the answer. You know you should reach out. You know isolation make it worse. You know people care, but you don't do it. And then you blame yourself. I'm weak. I'm broken. I can't even ask for help. But that's not a real problem. A real problem, you know, but you don't try. And there is a reason why. A real reason. Today I'm showing you the actual blocker that stop you and how to finally. break through it. I'm Saksham Sethi, learning psychology from ground up. Let's begin. You know the answer. You should reach out. नहीं, isolation make it worse. You know people care. You know the answer. You know the answer. You should has to reach out. You know isolation is wrong. You know people care about you. But you don't try. You know the answer. You know you should reach out. You know isolation make it worse. You know people care, but you don't do it. You know the answer. You know you should has to reach out. You know isolation is wrong. You know people care about you, but you don't do it. And you blame yourself after that. I'm that weak. I can't even ask for help. I'm really that much broke. I can't even ask for help. But that's not a real problem. A real problem is you know that you has to try, but you don't do it. That's a real reason. A reason that I tell you, that I show you today in this video. I'm Saksham Sethi, learning psychology from ground up. Let's begin. मतलब not the exact one, but workable कह सकते हैं हम. मतलब और तक ही कह सकते हैं, वर्केबल ही कह सकते हैं. Section 1, text ethic. You know, but you don't try the gap. Here's what happened. You're struggling and your mind know the answer. I should tell someone. Isolation make it worse. People care about me. You know this. Intellectually, you understand it, but you don't do it. And then you feel worse because now you are alone with your struggle. Plus guilt for not reaching out, plus frustration with yourself. It's double failure. Here's what happened. You struggle with that. You know you has to reach out with someone. You have a problem in your life. You know if you can't tell anyone, isolation make it worse. But you don't do it. Now you have a double problem. You have a guilt. You don't reach out with someone. You have a guilt. You can reach out. You know that isolation make it. मैं की कर डबल आइसोलेशन क्यों आ रहा है. Here's what happened. Here's what happened. The कितना भी नहीं सुना है. You're struggling and your mind know the answer. I should tell someone. People care about me. You know this. Intellectually, you understand it. Here's what happened. You're struggling with someone. You know the answer. You can tell someone asking for help. You know that isolation make it worse. You know the answer. Intellectually, you know it's helpful, but you don't do it. Now you feel worse about it because you can reach someone and ask for help, but you don't do that. You have guilt for that. Now you're alone with your own struggle rather than you share with someone and you have frustrated about with yourself. It's double failure, brother. Not the exact one, but I mean, Hana, it's not the exact one. ਜੇ ਤੂੰ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰੀ ਜਾ ਸਕਦਾ ਤਾਂ ਦੇਖ ਲਾ, ਨਹੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਅੱਗੇ ਚੱਲ। ਵੈਸੇ ਲਾਸਟ ਵਾਲਾ ਇਹ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਆਲਮੋਸਟ ਫਾਈਨਲ ਆ, ਅਗਰ ਅਗਲਾ ਇਸ ਤੋਂ ਬੈਸਟ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਤਾਂ ਉਹ ਰੱਖ ਲਾਂਗੇ, ਨਹੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਲਾਸਟ ਵਾਲਾ ਤਾਂ ਹੈ ਹੀ ਹੈ ਫਿਰ। ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰੀ ਰੀਡ ਕਰ ਲੈਣਾ। Here's what happened. You're struggling and your mind know the answer. I should tell someone. Isolation make it worse. People care about me. You know this. Intellectually, you understand that. But you don't do it. And then you feel worse because now you are alone with your struggle. Plus guilt for not reaching out. Plus frustrated with yourself. It's double failure. Here's what happened. You struggle with something. You know you reach to someone that care about you. You know it's good to reach to someone who really want to solve your problems. But you don't try. Now you're frustrated with your own mistakes because you can reach out but you don't do it. मैं क्या कीता है तो बिल्कुल भी नहीं ठीक सी। मतलब जो है, जो स्क्रिप्टिंग हो तो मैं बोल ही नहीं, कुछ और ही बोलता। Here's what happened. You struggle with something and you know you have to reach out. Here's what happened. You struggle with something and your mind know the answer. But go to hell. नहीं पता, वो ਜਿਹੜਾ ਲਾਸਟ ਵਾਲਾ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਆਈ ਥਿੰਕ ਸੋ ਉਹੀ ਬੈਸਟ ਹੈ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਹੁਣ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਹੱਗ ਰਿਹਾ, ਸਹੀ ਕਰਨ ਦੇ ਰਿਹਾ, ਇੰਪਰੂਵ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ, ਉਹ ਖਰਾਬ ਹੀ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ। ਤਾਂ ਆਈ ਡੋਂਟ ਥਿੰਕ ਸੋ ਇਟਸ ਅ ਗੁੱਡ ਡਿਸੀਜਨ। ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਬੰਦ ਕਰਨ ਦੀ ਜ਼ਰੂਰਤ ਹੈ। ਮੈਂ ਕਿੰਨੀਆਂ ਮਿਸਟੇਕਸ ਕਰ। So here's the question. If you know reaching out help, why don't you do it? It's not laziness, it's not stupidity, it's something deeper. So here's the question. If you know reaching out is helped you, reaching out is save you, isolation destroy you. So why you don't try? It's not stupidity. It's not you're lazy about it. It's a reason behind it. वैसे इट्स समथिंग डीपर सी, बट बिहाइंड इट वाला भी चल जाएगा, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है। Sorry. The real answer is shame, not fear, not worry about burden them. Shame, the belief if I reach out, they see how broke I am. And once they say it, they judge it. So you don't reach out. You isolate instant and you tell yourself it protection. I'm protecting them from my mess. But you're not protecting them. You're protecting yourself from the shame. The real answer is shame. I'll give it an The real answer is shame, not fear, not worry, not you protecting from the burden. The fear. The real answer is shame, not fear, not worry about burden them. Shame. The belief. Okay. The real answer is shame. The real answer is shame. No worry about burden them. Shame. I don't have that much time to do anything like that. The real answer is shame, not fear, not worry about burdening them. Shame. The belief if I reach out, they see me, how broke I am. And once they see me, they judge me. So you don't reach out, you isolate instead. and you tell yourself it's protection. I am protecting them from a mess. But you are not protecting them. You protecting yourself from shame. The real answer is shame, not fear, not worried about hurting them. Shame. You care about yourself. You're protecting yourself from the they see you how broke you are. You care about if they judge me how broke I am. So instead of reaching out, you isolating yourself. The real answer is shame, not fear, not worrying about burden them. The shame. You think you believe. If they see you how broke you are, they'll judge you. If they see you how worst condition you are, rather than help, they choke on you. So you don't reach out. You isolate yourself instant. And you think you protecting yourself, you protecting themselves by your mess. By giving them your mess, you protecting them. But the real answer is you protecting yourself from the shame. It's not exactly what I has to. But what we gonna do about that? And here's what insane. You're willing to stay alone rather than risking being judged. You choose certain loneliness over possible rejection. And you're calling it noble. And here's what's insane. You're willing to stay alone rather than risk being judged. You choose certain loneliness over possible rejection. And you're calling it noble. And here's what insane. You willing to stay alone rather than risking being judged. You choose certain loneliness over a possible rejection. And you call it novel. And here is insane. And here is insane. You're willing to stay alone rather than possible rejection. You choose certainly loneliness rather than risk being judged. And you call it as a novel. यार कि वैसे तो चल भी जाऊगा, एडी भी कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, क्योंकि सारा तो हो गया सही। चल जाएगा, आई थिंक सो चल जाएगा, even though I'm not happy with that, but doable, I think so. Section 2 I think. So let's talk about the real reason you don't try. It's not lack of knowledge. You know isolation is bad. It's shame. So let's talk about the real reason you don't try. It's not lack of knowledge. You know isolation is bad. It's shame. So let's talk about real problem. So let's talk about the reason you don't try. So let's talk about the reason you don't try. It's not a lack of knowledge. You know isolation is bad. It's the shame. Here, here how shame work. Shame say you are broken, and if people see how broke you, they know you're not worth keeping. So shame telling you better to be disappeared than to be seen and rejected. And isolation feels safer than vulnerability because it's isolation, nobody can judge you. Here's how shame work. Shame tell you if people see you how broke you are, now you're not worth to keeping. That's what shame tell you. Shame tell you again and again. If people see you how broke you are, they judge you and they never keep you in their life. So you choose to stay alone. You choose to say better to be disappeared than rejected by someone. And isolation feels safe. And isolation feels safe than vulnerability because and isolation safe and isolation feels safer than vulnerability because in isolation nobody judge you. ਪਤਾ ਮੇਰਾ ਜੀ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ ਮੈਂ ਇੱਕ ਹੱਥ ਫੜਾ ਖਿੱਚ ਕੇ ਚਾਣਾ ਮਾਰਾ ਆਪਦੇ ਆਪ ਤੇ ਕੀ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ ਮੈਂ ਯਾਰ ਮਤਲਬ ਸੀਰੀਅਸਲੀ ਤੇ ਫਿਰ ਮੈਂ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਮੈਂ ਆਪਦੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਜੱਜ ਕਰਦਾ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਨਾ ਕਰਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਇਹ ਜਿਹੀਆਂ ਹਰਕਤਾਂ ਕਰੂੰਗਾ ਲਰਨ ਕਰ ਵੀ ਰਿਹਾ ਮੈਂ ਕੁਛ ਮੈਂ ਸਿਰਫ ਟਾਈਮ ਵੇਸਟ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ ਆਪਦਾ ਤੇ ਆਪਦੇ ਘਰਦਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਹੋਰ ਕੁਛ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ but here's the trap. Isolation doesn't make shame go away. Isolation feeds shame. But now you're alone with your broken thoughts, with nobody to tell you you're not broken, you're human. Human ਹੋਣ ਨਾਲ ਵੀਰੇ ਇਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਨਾ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਟੁੱਟਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋ. But here's the trap. Isolation feeds shame. Now you're isolation, you're alone. In isolation, your thoughts say, ਹੁਣ ਦੱਸ ਕਿੱਥੋਂ ਕਿੱਥੋਂ ਕੀ ਪਹੁੰਚ ਜਾਣਾ ਹੈ ਸਿੰਪਲ ਲਾਈਨ ਹੈ ਤਿੰਨ ਮੇਰੇ ਤੋਂ ਤਿੰਨ ਲਾਈਨਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਬੋਲੀ ਜਾਂਦੀਆਂ ਐਂਡ ਬਟ ਹੇਜ਼ ਦਾ ਟਰੈਪ ਤਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਬੋਲਿਆ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ but here's the s- but here's the trap. Isolation don't go shame away. Isolation feed the shame. Now your isolation alone. There's no one here to tell you you're not broke. You're human. हालांकि मैं विद योर ब्रोकन थॉट्स कट गया पता नहीं कितने खा गया रोटी खान तो बाद भी why does shame have so much power Why does shame has so much power? Maybe in the past you feel the, or you why does shame feel so powerful? Maybe in the past your brain learned that. Maybe you try at point to go की कर रहे हैं मैं की कर रहे हैं मैं उम्मीद रखदा लोकी इस वीडियोस ਨੂੰ ਦੇਖਣਗੇ ਮੇਰਾ ਆਪਦਾ ਦੇਖਣ ਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਜੀ ਕਰਨਾ ਕਦੇ why does shame has so much power because your brain learned it in early. Maybe someone told you you are too much, you're too needy, you are too broken. Why does shame has so much power? Your brain learn it early. Maybe someone told you you are too needy, you're too broke, or you're too much, or you try to reach out someone and you get rejection, and your brain believe vulnerability is equal to rejection is equal to danger is equal to no, I don't have to try that. Now every time you try to reach out to someone, your shame speak to you. They don't care about you, they judge you, they leave you if you tell what problem do you have, and they joke around your problem also. So you choose to isolation yourself. You choose to live alone rather than telling your problem to someone. Because now isolation feels safe. Isolation feel home, even though it's wrong. फिलहाल तो मैं ही उस पॉइंट पे हैं. Now every time you want अच्छा होता गया यार. खत्म हो गया यार. Section 3 आते हैं. Here's what I want to tell you. When you reach out, the opposite of what you fear happened. When you reach out, the opposite of what you fear happens. Real example. You struggling. You finally text a friend. I'm having a hard time. I need to talk. What happened? They come closer, not further. They say, of course, I'm here. Tell me. And suddenly you're not alone. And the shame you're terrifying about it dissolves. Because someone saw you broken and stayed. Real example, you struggle with something and you ask your friend, hey, today my day is off. I need to talk about something. And your friend choose to you, your friend close to you, your friend stay with you rather than go further away. He or she don't go away. They choose to stay with you. Now your belief, your system, your vulnerability say that, oh, he stay with me, he care about me. Now your shame, your terrifying is dissolved because someone saw you broken and choose to stay. Now your belief system is stained. ਪਤਾ ਮੈਂ ਆਹ ਵਾਲੀ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਬਣਾ ਤਾਂ ਰਿਹਾ, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਖੁਦ ਹੀ ਇਸ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਤੇ ਉਮੀਦ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ। ਮਤਲਬ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਦੀ ਜਗ੍ਹਾ ਤੇ ਠੀਕ ਹੋ, ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ, ਕਰਨੀਆਂ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਹੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀਆਂ, ਵੀਡੀਓ ਗਲਤ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ, ਬਟ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਖੁਦ ਨੂੰ ਇਸ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਤੋਂ ਸਿੱਖਣ ਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਹੈ। ਬਟ ਉਹ ਸਕੇਅਰਡਨੈਸ ਇੰਨਾ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਹਾਈ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਨਾ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਟਰਾਈ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋ, ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋ ਪਾਉਂਦਾ। ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਦਿਮਾਗ 'ਚ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਕਿਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲ ਕਰੋਗੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ, ਜਿਸ ਬੰਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ, ਜਿਸ ਬੰਦੀ ਬਾਰੇ, ਜਿਹਦੇ ਫੈਮਿਲੀ ਬਾਰੇ ਵੀ ਸੋਚੋਗੇ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਕਿ ਨਹੀਂ, ਕਿ ਉਹ ਬੰਦਾ ਜਾਂ ਬੰਦੀ ਇੰਨੀ ਵਰਥ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਮੈਂ ਆਪਦੀਆਂ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਦੱਸਾਂ ਕਿ ਆਹ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮ ਚੱਲ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ। ਅਤੇ ਕਰੰਟਲੀ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਕਿਸੇ ਵੀ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੀ ਕਿਸੇ ਵੀ ਲਾਈਫ 'ਚ ਕੋਈ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮ ਐਵੇਂ ਦੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉਹ ਦੱਸੇ, ਸਿਰਫ ਟੈਨਸ਼ਨਸ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ, ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮਸ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ ਜਨਰਲੀ। ਖਾਸ ਕਰ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਾਲ ਕਰਕੇ ਦੱਸ ਸਕੋ, ਉਹ ਮੂਵੀਜ਼ 'ਚ ਹੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਹਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੋਸਤ ਨੂੰ ਕਾਲ ਕੀਤਾ, ਰਾਤੀ ਆ ਕੇ ਤੇ ਰੋਣ ਲੱਗ ਪਏ, ਅਗਲੇ ਦਿਨ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਛ ਸੈੱਟ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ, ਤੀਜੇ ਦਿਨ ਬਿਜ਼ਨਸ ਖੜੇ ਹੋ ਗਏ। ਵਾਹ, ਲਾਈਫ ਹੈ, ਐਡਾ ਸੌਖਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਛ। ਪਰ ਚਲੋ ਹੁਣ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਤਾਂ ਕੰਪਲੀਟ ਕਰਨੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ। The moment changed everything because now you know I'm breakable and people still choose me. That not protecting that protection, that's proof. The moment changed everything. The moment you believe you're broke and people still choose you. Now that is a proof. That is a protection. That's not protection है यार, दैट इज अ प्रोटेक्शन कित्थों आ गया ਮੈਨੂੰ ਦੱਸੋ। हम ट्राई करेंगे, प्रूफ ਤੇ ਕੱਟ ਕਰ ਦਾਂਗੇ, ਫਿਰ ਇਹੀ ਹੈ। Here's another example. You're falling at something, you're ashamed, so you hide. But what if you told someone I'm struggling with this? I don't know what to do. Instead of judging you, instead of judgment, you get me too. I'll be there. Here's what helped me. And suddenly you're not alone in your failure. You're connected through it. Here's another example. You're failing at something and you're trying too hard. But what if rather than hiding, you tell the thing to the someone? You know that I don't know how to do that. I don't know what to do here. And rather than get a judgment from them, you get from it, I get through it. I know that. The feeling of me too is now you're not alone with the failure. You both are equal, you both are together, you both has support to each other. The shame you're protecting against, it never happened. नहीं पता, नहीं सीधा प्रूफ ਤੇ ਹੀ ਚੱਲਦੇ ਹੋ, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਮਝ ਆ ਰਹੀ ਲਾਈਨ। ਇੱਕ ਡਕਾਰਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀ ਪਿਆ ਹੋਇਆ, ਦਿਮਾਗ ਖਰਾਬ। Proof. Reaching out doesn't create the rejection you scared about. Reaching out create a connection. You need to face the situation. But you'll never know this until you try to reaching out. ਮੈਂ ਆਪਦੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਰੀਚ ਕਰ ਪਾ ਰਹੇ, ਕਿਸੇ ਕੋਲ ਤਾਂ ਰੀਚ ਕੀ ਕਰੂੰਗਾ। ਮੈਂ ਆਪਦੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਮਝਾ ਪਾ ਰਿਹਾ, हाँ जो मैं चीज़ कर रहे हैं चीज़ नहीं करनी होंगी, समझ ही नहीं पा रहे मैं। Section 4. How to actually try breaking the shame cycle. So, how do you break through the shame and actually reach out? Not by feeling brave, by taking action despite fear. So, how do you break the shame? So, how do you break the shame and actually take step? So, how do you break the shame and actually take step? Not so how to break through shame? मैनू ही नहीं पता. So, how do you break through shame? Actually reaching out, not through. So, how do you break through shame? So, how do you actually break through the shame and actually reaching out someone? Not feeling by brave, by taking action while scared about it. हो गया हुन कोई by taking action despite fear नहीं गए ही चलू कौन जो मैं कहता. Step 1, name the shame. When any Step 1, name the shame. Now, whenever you feel the urge to isolate yourself or hide behind it something, it, name it. Name the shame. Basically, say that. Now, shames tell me, don't try, don't reach out, don't say anything to anyone. This is shame. Now you name it, you do separate, two separate things in your mind. Now you take this problem as a third person because you named it, not as a personal problem, while your mind doesn't even work around it. Question the same. Is this true or this fear dressed as a truth? If I reach out, will they actually judge me or they actually care? Most time the answer is still they'll care. Step 2. Question the belief. Whenever you have a urge or whenever you're scared about it, question it. They speak fear or they speak reality. They really judge me or they care about me. If I ask for something, if I tell them I have that problem, they try to solve it or they judge it. And most of the time, your answer is they care about it. Step 3, impossible small. Don't try to spill everything at once. Just text one person, hey, bad day, thinking of you. That's it, 8 words. Step 3, start impossibly small. Don't speak it out everything. Don't spill every thought you have. Just choose one person, try to reach out, and just say, hey, bad day, I'm thinking about you. I think I need to talk. Those lines and see what happen. Step 4, notice. नहीं नहीं करी पढ़ी लाना. When they respond with I am here, what's going on? Notice this. This is what connections feel like, not judgment. Step 4, notice what happened. When they reach out with the reply, yes, what's going on? I'm here for you. This feeling is give you clarity. This is not judgment. This is feels like a connection. Step 2, do it again. Once you see that reach out doesn't create rejection, it's get easier. You realize shame was lying. People actually care. Step 5, do it again. Once you do it, even in a smaller scale, now your mind see people care about. It's not judgment. People don't judge. People care about you. People love you. Now it's easy to do it too again with the main problems also. So try, try, and that change your life. Except the awkwardness. It might feel awkward. You might cry. You might feel vulnerable. That's normal. That's not failure. Vulnerable, it's supposed to feel scary. That's how you know how you are real. Step 6, accept the awkwardness. This is awkward. Maybe that awkward, you will be cry in the front of them. And that cry is a vulnerability. And vulnerability is never wrong. Vulnerability is human. You are a human. Now, that's the way you know you are real. You are human too. Even though बहुत ਵੱਡਾ ਗੈਪ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਉਹ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਬਟ ਇਟਸ ਓਕੇ ਮੈਂ ਕੀ ਕੀਤਾ ਮੈਂ ਦੋ ਦੋ ਤਿੰਨ ਤਿੰਨ ਲਾਈਨਾਂ ਕਰਕੇ ਬੋਲ ਰਿਹਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਸੱਚੀ the magic happen when you act despite the fear, not when fear go away. The magic happen when you act while the magic happened when you act despite the fear, not while fear go away. While you fearing out, but you take action. You take action again and again. Now you see what change in your life. Section 5. So, here what I want you to know. You're not broken, you're just scared. And there are huge difference. Broken, unfixable. You're not unfixable. Scared, temporary scared. Temporary. Scared go away when you faced it. So here's what I want you to know. So here's what I want you to know. You're not broken, you're scared. And here is a big difference in that. Broken, it's not fixable. Scared is temporary. Scared go away when you face it. Here's the truth. The people around you want to help, they're not waiting for you to be perfect. They're waiting for you to be real. Here's the truth. The people around you, they are not want to be you perfect. They want you to be real you. They want you to be reaching out. They want you to be asking help. They're ready to help you. They want to help you. But they don't even know when you have a problem and when you don't because you don't reach out. You never tell them this is what I am feeling. This what I am thinking. You never real yourself to the everyone. And when you are real to them, you feel connection, you feel vulnerability, you feel the urge. Yes, that's it. That's what I want in my life. You feel the trust, you feel the less lonely how you are in your life. ਚੈਲੰਜ ਚੂਲੰਜ ਨਹੀਂ ਯਾਰ, ਇਹ ਹਰ ਚੀਜ਼ 'ਚ ਫਿਰ ਚੈਲੰਜ ਦੇਣ ਲੱਗ ਪਿਆ, ਕੀ ਕਰੀ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ? Because the lie that keeping you isolated is people will judge me. If they see I'm broke, the truth is people connect through broken. People love through struggle. Because the lie keeping you isolate, people judge you because I'm broke. But the reality, the truth is, people connect to the broken. People connect through the mistakes. People love through the struggles. You know the answer, but knowing isn't enough. You have to try. And try is scary because shame is loud. But here's what louder: connection. When you experience someone seeing you in a real life and staying, everyone change. So this week, try it. Reach out, be vulnerable. Not because you're strong enough, but because you're a human enough. You know the answer, but knowing the answer is not enough. It's scared because scared. You know the answer, but knowing the answer isn't enough. You has to try, but it's scared because it's filled with the shame. Even though shame keep you isolate, but you has to try because you know that connection solve every problems. And once you experience someone see you, the real you, the broken you, and still choose you to stay in your life, still choose to love you, still choose to help you. Now everything change. You experience the real connection. You experience the real human bond. Now you're reaching out more people. Now you live your life happily more. And you're trying that again and again. Not because you're strong enough, because you're human enough to try. New video every Tuesday, 9 p.m. This is real, this is raw. This is learning out loud. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye, champions. नहीं है, कोई बेस्ट नहीं है। मेरे तो पूछो, मैंने रिकॉर्ड करते हुए ही नहीं बेस्ट लगा, तो उस तो बाद क्या मैं लग जाएगा ब्रो? कि दो रह गया आई थिंक सो, इस तो बाद पता नहीं। आई थिंक सो दैट इज वीडियो द एंड हो गया ऑन इनवाइटेड करना. आई थिंक सो दैट इज फॉर टुडे ब्रोस्किस. I mean, today's session, today's shoot, I don't like that much. I question myself more rather than making a video. I'm not that strong. That's the problem. I'm not that strong. I'm a human. I am broken. The worst condition, I am introvert. Alone introvert child. I don't even like humans. So yes, I think so that is for today. I'll see you in the next one. I mean, ਟੋਟਲੀ ਟਰਾਈ ਤਾਂ ਮੇਰੀ ਹੋਊਗੀ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਅੱਜ ਹੀ ਕਰ ਲਾਂ ਜਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਅੱਜ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਐਡਿਟ ਕਰ ਦੂੰਗਾ ਤੇ ਜਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਅੱਜ ਇੱਕੋ ਰਿਕਾਰਡ ਕਰ ਲੂੰਗਾ ਬਟ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਉਮੀਦ ਦੋਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੱਗਦੀ ਤਾਂ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਬਲੀ ਚਾਂਸ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਅਗਰ ਜੇ ਮੈਂ ਰਿਕਾਰਡ ਨਹੀਂ ਵੀ ਕਰਦਾ ਤਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਐਡਿਟ ਤਾਂ ਸਟਾਰਟ ਕਰ ਹੀ ਦੇਵਾਂ ਹਾਲਾਂਕਿ ਕੰਪਲੀਟ ਤਾਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਉਹ ਕੱਲ੍ਹ ਹੀ ਹੋਏਗੀ ਬਟ ਕੱਲ੍ਹ ਫਿਰ ਮੈਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਅੱਜ ਵਾਂਗੂ ਪ੍ਰੋਪਰ ਐਡਿਟ ਕਰਕੇ ਅਪਲੋਡ ਕਰ ਦੂੰਗਾ ਤਾਂ ਕੱਲ੍ਹ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਫਿਰ ਉਹ ਕੰਪਲੀਟ ਹੋ ਜਾਏਗਾ ਅੱਜ ਹੈ 15 ਕੱਲ੍ਹ 16 ਦੇਖਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿੰਨੀ ਵੀਡੀਓਜ਼ ਰਹਿ ਗਈਆਂ ਉਸ ਹਿਸਾਬ ਨਾਲ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕੀ ਕਰਨਾ ਰਾਈਟ. I think so. That is it. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.